to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, a hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion.
I think when he was like, a really super skillful fighter, very talented fighter, and I talked about that, a while back. And I thought about this. If he wanted to go to 168 and he want to fight Canelo bad, and Benavidez want to fight Canelo bad, they can't get Canelo. They can fight each other. Benavidez and Crawford. I feel that both of you guys are chasing one fighter. If y'all feel like y'all chasing him and y'all can't get that fighter, then y'all should say, fuck it, we'll fight each other.
Good old Floyd, he went from telling Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney they should fight and leave Gervonta Davis alone. Now he's saying that if Crawford really wants a Canelo fight, he should fight Benavidez. In other words, Terence Crawford should campaign at 168 and fight David Benavidez. And I hear some of the Canelo fans saying the same thing. And that's because they don't want David Benavidez near Canelo Alvarez. I think David Benavidez is not a true 168-pounder. He's a cruiserweight. But he gets down to 168, so that's what we got to go with. And to an extent, I agree. But if we agree that Crawford, if he wants the Canelo fight, has to campaign at 168, that would mean Canelo would have to fight only 168-pounders, which I agree because he's an undisputed champ, all-time great. He should fight in his own weight class. And we have to keep the same energy, right? Was there any 168-pounders in that 3-fight deal? Jermell Charlo came from 154, and all I heard is, oh, he's big. He's bigger than Canelo. It doesn't matter to me. He wasn't a 168-pounder. And if Spence would have beat Crawford, he would be in line for a Canelo fight. And he's a 147-pounder, just like Terence Crawford. And not to mention Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo's not a 168-pounder. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. I've never been a fan of a Terence Crawford-Canelo fight. You can look at my previous videos. I've never been a supporter of that. I'm not a fanboy of Crawford. I'm a fanboy of consistency. And the YTBC is full of inconsistencies. Crawford has to go to 168 to campaign and fight Benavidez if he wants a Canelo fight. But Spence and the Charlo brothers did not have to do that. I mean, if Spence won the fight, you really think they're going to say, well, Spence needs to fight Benavidez first? No, they're not going to say that. They're going to put him right into the Canelo fight. Even though he's at 147, just like Terence Crawford is. And I've been saying I like the Jaime Munguia fight over Jermell Charlo. And one of the reasons is Jaime Munguia is a 168-pounder. And I also like the David Benavidez fight for Canelo. Now, I'm not bashing Canelo. I'm bashing the inconsistency of the YTBC. When Canelo was fighting Jermell Charlo, I never heard anybody say, well, he needs to fight Benavidez first to campaign at 168. All they said, well, he's bigger than Canelo and is part of the 3-fight deal by the PBC. That's all I heard, which to me is a weak excuse. We're supposed to keep the same energy, right? If Terence Crawford wants a Canelo fight, they say he has a campaign at 168. I have no problem with that. As long as everybody else who gets a Canelo fight who's under 168 has to do the same thing. It should be the rule for anybody who's under 168, not just one guy. And that is keeping the same energy. And some people will say, well, Crawford keeps asking for the fight. So if he really wants to fight, move up to 168. So Crawford has to prove himself because he keeps asking for the fight. But those 3 guys that were included in the 3-fight deal did not have to prove themselves. My opinion is this. Canelo's a cash cow, so he can fight anybody at 168 and make decent money. I think he should fight people in his division, and Terence Crawford should move to 154 and fight Zoo. And anyone in the lower weight classes that want to fight Canelo, who's at 168-pound weight division, should have to campaign at 168 to get the fight, not just Terence Crawford. Anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. Jay Beezy, I'm gone.